Okay, so friggin' before Jim left last night, I made him help me grab 3 sheets of plywood off the top of the plywood stack there, and you see all my friggin' sopping wet insulations. Look at it all, just friggin' dickered, So anyways, I got my first friggin' roofing contractor coming to give me an estimate this afternoon, and I got a hold of this bio mold friggin' place or whatever, so they're gonna do an air sampling test to actually tell what the mold is. But you can see just from the other day when I was filming in here, it's a lot more dry. It's a lot drier. There's not, these streaks across the roof as bad and stuff. But there's some mold. There's some mold. Mold, like different types of cotton ball mold and root-looking mold and mushroom mold and all kinds of stuff. So he said it was going to be like, this much hundreds for, if they come in here and they scrape all the different samples and then they test it and stuff. But we already know it's mold. We just got to test and see what kind of mold it is. So he's just going to do like an air quality test to test like the spores that are in the air, and then it's a little bit more expensive. But I mean, you don't need to test for mold because you can see it's mold, right? You just got to look at it. Okay, that's mold. So we need to test the air. So he's got to do like 4 air quality tests, 2 outside, 2 inside, and then see if this shit's going to affect my health or not. And then got to call this other place, and they get like dry ice and stuff and blast the shit out of it, and with and it cigarettes the mold and stuff. Cause yeah. But he's pretty much begging me to friggin' call him at this point. But I don't want to listen to his nonsense, right? Like, I don't have anything that he has to say needs to go in my head at all, because it's just nonsense. He's going to blame the eaves trough guy. Actually, I'm going to go outside and show you what he's telling me that the eaves trough guy should have done, all right? So here's down the other end of the eaves trough. You can see the caulking isn't touching both sides here either, but I mean, it's not just, it's not just one spot. It's just all of it. Just absolutely all of it is just no good. Like, I'm just choked. But you can see down this end how the eaves trough guy jammed this edge of the eaves trough right up against as high as he could go without, caulking over that plastic edge that's not a drip edge, right? But then the eaves trough's got to go down on an angle, right? So it's got to go down on an angle over 40 feet. So what the roofer guy's saying is the eaves trough guy didn't do it right. He's supposed to pull out all the screws along this edge, but you can see that's how you attach the friggin' eaves trough to the frig saxer, right? So it's not like you can just loosen these off, shimmy your guy up there, put this screw in, and then cigarette that down. This part will be in the way of the screw if you shove that up and in there, and then there's a screw bulging out under here. I mean, this is just complete nonsense. If he just didn't cut that material off so short and left it long so the guy could just fold it up and friggin' cigarette it, it would have been no problem. And like, look at all the heat loss, Look at all the heat loss. There's just barely a dusting of snow on the roof, and it's not like liquefying or turning into water and running down the roof. It's completely frozen. And like, the wood stove is chooching. So anyways, he told me to, get a professional to look at it and this and that, because I don't know anything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a whole bunch of professionals down here to look at it and put on paper that the roof is caulked, and the reason why that whole room is friggin' sopping wet is because of the leaking roof and the no flashing. And then, and then what is he going to say? Who's he going to blame now? So instead of just doing it right the first time, now my $600 eaves troughs are just full of holes in the back because he put screws in the back of it instead of flashing it like I asked him, like he said he was gonna. And now I got mold in the friggin' room big time. A bunch of my stuff got wet. So anyways, here's the friggin' plywoods me and Jim dug out last night. So friggin', it's like 3/4 inch tongue and groove, this and that. Was a bling bling. So I hope to get that cut today. I just gotta set up some sawhorses or something to friggin' just rip them down the friggin' middle, and I'll have to notch out for the friggin' the tubifers there and there and there and there. But then we'll have 4 dirty shelves in the floor underneath the shelf to friggin' stack shit on. It'll be way more awesome than his frig probably. Yeah, and I might as well mention it in this video too. He opened up the ceiling here and over here in accordance with telling me that it was moist up here too, right? It was moist up here too. and then did the same thing on the other side of this wall in like the, you know, the THC set, right? Well, when Bloke was over yesterday, I thought, well, you know what, I'm just going to go up there and check for myself. And I checked for myself, and it is absolutely a bone-ass dry up there. Like where's the mold up here? You know what I mean? Where's the mold? Like, how come there's not cotton ball trees growing up in this side if it was wet up there too? You know what I mean? Alright, so the roofing contractor's here to have a look, and I've already showed him around on the inside. He's just grabbing his ladder and setting it up there, and then we'll see what he has to say. Beg my pardon. Oh, well, she's starting out not too bad. He brought his own ladder, so that's a good sign, but we're going to get up on the roof and investigations.
You can feel the ice in here.
It's just soaked, eh?
Well, you hear the rigidity?
Yeah.
And the flex?
Yeah.
The insulation underneath it's soaked.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's a 1/4-inch fan fold insulation under this membrane. What do you think of the caulking?
Come over here, Chris. Film here. This is where he put the caulking first, okay? Look at the gap he filled that he had left.
Yeah.
The whole underlying moisture area is.
Well, what do you think about this spot over here where you can actually see daylight coming in? This nail.
That's nothing bad, but it's okay. No, you don't do that. This has to come off. The material would come up, wrap over. This here comes off, and then you put metals over top.
Yeah.
That's how it's properly done. You don't do shit like this.
Right on.
To put termination bar, this is called a russet bar. Use it for EPM and TPO.
But it isn't a drip edge.
It's not a drip edge, it's a russet bar. It's a
so you use a different kind of bar along the top of
where
you'd put it.
To put that. You're supposed to laminate the material.
Oh yeah, but along where the eaves troughs are?
Yeah.
Because he filled my eaves troughs full of screws too to try to make them work, because he told me that the eaves trough guy didn't do his job right.
Oh, he laid down the material. See, if he was doing his job right, what he did is this here coming from the side angle,
yeah.
This side, the eaves trough comes off, okay?
Well, the eaves trough wasn't there.
Okay, well this, if it wasn't here, this material should come all the way down to here, to the bottom of the soffit.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I just need like an estimation on fixing it, I guess.
You can see the lamination, delamination.
Oh, well, that's
stay there.
He did that on Tuesday, yeah, and he left it like that. See how it's all been wiped off around that? That was my old lady's nail polish remover, because he didn't bring acetone.
Yeah,
and then picked my joints open and cut big holes in my roof.
This slope here,
yeah,
that's no good, because the heat transition, if the materials
isn't touching
the wall, it'll have that. The air scope will come out. Everything's insulated inside properly. Nothing should be leaking the way it is. There should be no underlying mold issues.
So you would say that
this void here is creating condensation.
That great big hole right along there where the nails coming out has let water in it, froze, let water in it, froze, let water in it, froze.
And you said all this was open before you even caulked it. So imagine the amount of water that would have went in there, and you have snow sitting up against here.
Well, he didn't caulk it yesterday. This is how he finished the roof. Oh. Like, he came and put a bunch more caulking on it the first time he came, and then didn't do anything last time except for cut more holes in my roof and try to blame it on condensation. But I mean, but then lied to me about the upper, you know, cut this flap open, told me it was dry. I stuck my hand in there, totally wet, went up into the insulation on the inside over in this area, told me that it was wet when in fact it was dry. Like, it's just a liar trying to get out of it, because he's seen all the mold and he's trying to, you know, not have to deal with that. But.
Yeah. You're gonna have to go through a court on this guy if you can't get him to
Is that, how do you run your business?
Professionally. We do everything with a written warranty. My name's David Armstrong. I live in London, Ontario. I grew up in London, Ontario. Started my business last year. I have 22 years worth of work, and all we do is good work. I try to come in, sell the roof. I'm not selling an aspect of what the job is. I'm selling a relationship for 15 years with a person. Right on.
Yeah, I should have just went with you in the first place, probably.
Yeah, so these screws here, these are the round screws. Like, these look like plastic plugs.
No, they're nails, bro.
Yeah, they're nails in
100-year-old brick.
If you're gonna do something like this, which is garbage, this is plastic.
I know, you could. All the nails are moving. You touch that, all the nails move.
We use concrete pins if we were gonna do that.
Or tap cons, or flash it right up over top of the end of the wall.
This whole roof, I would have done torch on. I would have taken the parapet capping off, these metals off, come in straight, transition up and over, and then it would have been watertight for 20 years, not like he said.
And how much would that have cost me?
Probably about the same price. 10 grand cash I could have worked out.
Fuck
That's all
sakes.
the materials and that's all the new insulations. Now we'll have to see what we have to do.
Would you call me a couple years later swearing at me, leaving voicemails and stuff?
Yeah, if you slept with my wife.
Beg my part. Beg my part. Beg my part. Beg my part. Wow, look at this. Listen. Hear the ice under there?
Yeah, that's ice.
And he's even marked it out and stuff, eh? So like it is friggin' Sigerting back here
Go
too,
get
for
me,
fuck's sakes. Well, I called a professional, bud, and he's up there right now, and he's not too impressed with what he's seeing, so now what? You know, would you like me to carry on, or are you gonna start paying up? Okay, well, he called me back up on the roof. He's got something to show me.
This is an exterior wall.
Yeah.
Even though it's a cold zone inside,
Yeah.
the material should come up to about 4 feet to 3 feet
Yeah.
due to snow load, right? Look how far the material comes up.
What is that? Oh, 9 inches, 10 inches.
There's the material. There's his first base. There's his flashing. Your flashing always has to be higher than your base material. So he fucked that up too.
Great.
We'll give him an E for effort.
Right on.
There is no E graded though, is there? It's
No.
just fail, isn't it?
Yeah, just dickered.
Put your camera low, you can get the sound.
What is that you took here?
It's ice.
I was pretending I was stupid. Eh? Oh my goodness. So anyways, boys, this is the guy. Unbelievably nice guy. He come in, sat down, friggin' figured it out. $7,200 to friggin' completely replace the roof with torch down type situation up and over the top of the wall and stuff, so it's not gonna frig sack me in any way. For 15 years warranty on what he said. And I asked him if off the off chance that it leaked, how many boxes of caulking would he come to bring to fix it? And he says, caulking? You know, he says, you don't use caulking to fix your roof, bud. And I was like, oh really? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And I tried to tell the friggin' other roofer dick that, and he friggin' just argued with me. So I don't know. I was under the assumption that I was just a complete and utter idiot. So anyways, there's the first estimate or whatever. I'll keep getting more for sure, but I mean, that one went pretty well. I mean, the guy was a really nice guy, great to talk to, this and that. Brought him in, an old lady sat around, this and that. We, you know, got her all figured out and stuff, and shooting the breeze and whatnot and different things. And yeah, I think as far as friggin' cigarettes go, if I need to get this done, I think I wouldn't have a problem going with this new guy. Beg my pardon. He said the roof might be able to be fixed, but the membrane's gonna have to be welded and seamed and up and over that top and this and that, and so much more work needs to be done to it, and it's gonna add a whole bunch more friggin' like, you know, patches and seams and stuff into it that, you know, there's the whole idea of this roof is to have as few seams and joints as possible. That's why they don't come in like little square patches and you just weld them all together. It's, you know, sheets of this stuff and you friggin' roll it out, right? If he replaces the whole roof, he can give me a 15-year warranty, no questions asked about nothing. He guarantees me it's not gonna leak for at least 15 years. All right, so here's where we're at. First person I talked to agreed with me 100%. He says there is, you know, the chance of condensation buildup because no vapor barrier, blah, 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 but, you know, I mean, I showed him, you know, everything. She says, yeah, you know, you're right. The water's definitely coming in there, freezing as it gets across the roof, freezing, and then when it gets warm enough out, it just came in. I mean, it's not rocket appliances, right? So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to continue on doing this, obviously. I'm going to get more people in here to confirm what I said is correct, and to confirm that everything he said is just complete gibberish, and that the quality of the job is just complete horseshit. And then we'll see what he wants to do, because I need my eaves troughs replaced, because I didn't buy brand new eaves troughs to have a whole bunch of little siding screws all jabbed through the back of them. So, I mean, even if there was a drip edge put on, it's still not going to hold water because it's full of holes now. So that's ridiculous. My brand new eaves troughs don't need holes in them. There's just a crazy amount of mold that needs to be dealt with, like without a doubt. So I'm getting estimates on that in the next couple days while we're doing a cigarette test, and that's $275 right there, just to test, you know, the breathing air, right? The breathing air, like the room that I'm in right now. I'm dying, growing mushrooms in my lungs. Yeah, and I need to get all this insulation replaced and disposed of. So I don't know how much that's going to cost yet, but I will let you know. Like, I mean, this guy said that the roof above was dry, even though I put my hand in there and told him that, no, it's wet. Like, you can't trick me. And, you know, this guy, first thing the guy says when he went up on the roof today was, holy shit, you feel the ice under there and stuff. So if the top side wasn't wet, how did the ice get under there? That's crazy to me. But anyways, boys, I gave this guy every opportunity in the world to come and friggin' fix it. I even wanted to supply my own materials, this, that, and everything else, and he just absolutely refused. So this is the only option that I have. I mean, I can't, you know, afford to just put another roof on it and save myself all this headache and stuff. So, I mean, I have no other choice. He's either paying to have the roof replaced because A, I didn't get the product I was told I was getting, Duralast, the friggin' world's most friggin', you know, cigaretted roof or whatever, and D, whatever the garbage is he put up there wasn't put on very well. So anyways, once I come up with a friggin' number for the mold and the insulation and these troughs and the new roof, I'm going to approach him with that, and we'll see where we go from there. And if I have to take him to court, well, so be it. The friggin' the small claims court went from $10,000 to $25,000 a few years ago, so that's just a friggin' bonus. And if I gotta go to all that trouble, every friggin' single thing that got dripped on will get replaced too. So anyways, I'm gonna get myself all pissed off and shit again today, so I don't want to friggin' deal with that. I'm gonna friggin' go cut some boards for my shelves and put some of my stuff away, sort through my stuff, you know, see what else is racked and what, you know, whatever, right? But anyways, friggin', so now that you've heard it right from a contractor's mouth who has no affiliation with me at all, friggin', and no reason to go on YouTube and start spouting off nonsense if it wasn't true, especially after putting his name and phone number and friggin' total business that he's only had going for a year on YouTube, right? Like, I mean, I explained to him what he was doing, and he says, no, man, I stand behind my work 100%. So now that you've heard it out of his mouth, let me know what you think. And I mean, I know y'all agree with me anyway, because friggin' you don't want to sound like a complete idiot. I mean, you'd have to just be a complete friggin' idiot to not see what's happening here. I mean, there's a, you know, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh yeah, and he wanted to friggin' cock the thing. I says, no, don't fix it. He says, no, I'm not fixing it. I just can't leave it like that. You know, you got a big open thing. I'm like, no, you can't, man. I gotta have people coming here and looking at it and stuff. I'm like, you know, I paid this guy friggin' good money to come here and put caulking all in there like that and friggin' put like, you know, caulk a hole this friggin' wide and stuff like that. I paid good money for that. So, you know, I want to show as many people as I can and, you know, document what they have to say about it, because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, all right, you know, I just, you know, it's not fixing it. It's just, I don't want water to just be getting in. It's right, you know, clear. If I put caulking on there, it'll stop it for a minute. And I'm like, no, I understand. I got caulking. I'll put caulking in there if I have to, but I mean, I don't want to. I want to, you know, I still got to do the old water chooch test or whatever. But anyways, boys, don't forget to check out onepuglife.com and get your decals and your horse and your nonsense, your gibberish, and don't forget to like, share your favorite movie because it helps big time, and Pug loves that kind big tang. So anyways, boys, there we go. Another Digger Pug One production. So until tomorrow.
Don't let the watchers get you.